What's up, y'all? It's Mr. 6'8", and I'm back at you with another video. Y'all, it's just been a rough week. It's been so much going on in the news, and let's just keep each other lifted up in prayer. But nonetheless, I want you to take a look at this video, and then I'm gonna jump right into it. Roll that beautiful bean footage. We got a lot to talk about.
That wasn't it.
Oh my God.
That was.
God, hey,
Oh.
we finna stop this shit.
Oh, our time about to end. Don't add no more time.
We got 14 minutes left.
How much more time we got? Oh, 14. We only got 14 minutes.
My hand getting on.
You having a season? Oh.
Record.
What you laughing for? You son of a bitch.
Record that man, bro. You wild.
You guys just keep rolling your three. We're done, okay? Keep going, okay?
Okay, so the video that you saw was of Raider. Well, now he's a former Raiders player, football player of the NFL. Henry Suggs is his name, and Henry Ruggs is his name. Henry Ruggs III, and I don't know if you all have seen the news, but there was a very horrific crash this morning around 3:43 a.m. Unfortunately, somebody did lose their life. Out of respect for the family, I will not show the some of the crash pictures because they were just too graphic. But y'all, it's just a sad story. So just to kind of give you a timeline and kind of put all of this together, let me just kind of backtrack. So Henry Ruggs, 22 years old, used to play for the Raiders, okay? He signed for my understanding, a 4-year, $16 million deal that was of the 2021 draft for the NFL. I heard that there was also a sign-on bonus of $6 million or something, somewhere in that ballpark figure. I don't know how true that is, but I did hear of that. Also, wanted to sit here and mention that basically, he was a 22-year-old millionaire, had the whole world, at his feet. He did well in the NFL, and even though I don't think that's who we should be highlighting, but I just wanted to give you some of the facts as far as, just to kind of give you an idea of who we're talking about in the video that you just seen. So the video that I showed was basically of Henry Ruggs, who basically was partying at this Top Golf in Las Vegas about 4 hours before a horrific crash happened. And this would have happened last night, to my understanding, because the crash happened around this morning. So basically what happened is that, he went out, with his girlfriend, who was also a passenger in the vehicle. The girlfriend name was Rudy Washington. They was both, at this Top Golf, having a good time, living it up like young, people do. And like I said, also keep in mind, this is a millionaire, this is not just a 22-year-old working at, a 9 to 5, this is a man with lots of money, lots and lots of money. We don't know how much he exactly has gotten paid up until this point, that, the situation that occurred, today. But we do know that, he definitely was living a life, okay? He had recently, I guess, purchased this brand new 2020 Corvette. The Corvette, which will be a foreshadow into, which is eerie because the Corvette was pictured in this 1K promotional video that I dug up online. And in this video, you know, it basically shows is him in the Corvette that is now, you know, a part of a, I guess if you want to call it vehicle homicide. I mean, that's the only way I know how to put it. But nonetheless, they were at this Top Golf. They were, you know, having a good time. Everybody had a little bit too much to drink. If you saw in the video, there's a picture that I took a screenshot of where, you know, you seen alcoholic drinks sitting around on, you know, the stand table or whatever while their friends joked it up. You even see one of the guys in the video that I showed at the beginning who was actually on the scene of the accident. Long story short though, fast forward at around 3:40 a.m., there was a girl by the name of Tina Tintor, okay? And Tina Tintor was a young 23-year-old. And, you know, she was a very, you know, as far as like I said, impressionable 23-year-old, from what I understand, very, you know, well-mannered, you know, had a family that loved her. She was actually in the process of getting her citizenship, from what I understand from reading in the stories from one of her good friends that was out with her on the night of the accident earlier today. And long story short, you know, they were walking their dogs, which is, I guess, obviously a routine of Tina, is to walk the dogs, and she had a puppy with her. They were walking the dogs, and it was a, you know, nightly routine. Next thing you know, she dropped the friend off at home, and she was like a mile away from my house, from what I understand. And at around 3:40 a.m., this, you know, former Raider NFL player by the name of Henry Ruggs III, who we seen in the video, comes barreling down. I think it was somewhere, I want to say near Rainbow Boulevard, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Rainbow Boulevard, in his 2020 Corvette, going at about 156 miles per hour. Not 100, not 120, but 156 miles per hour, y'all. Just take a moment and let that digest. 156 miles per hour in probably what looks like to me was a residential area. Ended up rear-ending and hitting the car in front of him, which happened to be Tina Tintor's vehicle, knocking her vehicle 500 feet down the road. The vehicle was hit so hard that it burst into flames. Tina Tintor was trapped inside of the vehicle with her dog, who she had just walked with her friend. And as a result, the young girl lost her life inside their vehicle because nobody could get her out because she was pinned down. People heard screams for help. Residents of nearby apartments was trying to, you know, as far as see what they could do to help. Nobody could seem to help or do anything, because at this point, when a vehicle gets that engulfed in flames, that heat is so intense. There's no way that you can, just to even try to get near it, it's just too much. The smoke alone will just gag you. And she lost her life, unfortunately. Meanwhile, while all of this is happening, it was, you know, allegedly to be stated that, you know, Henry, he was in the Corvette still with his body hanging out, okay, with his feet still in the floorboard. I guess maybe he was unconscious for a while. I understand that his girlfriend, Rudy Washington, who was a passenger in the seat next to him, also was injured, but I think she hurt her arm. Then we see that there were video clips of him sitting on the side of the road. Take a look. So y'all see that, right? So on these video clips, it basically shows him just, I guess, delirious. Maybe he's not, you know, in his right mind. And come to find out, he was intoxicated. Not only was he intoxicated, but he was seriously intoxicated. As a matter of fact, his blood alcohol level, y'all, was found to be 0.161, which is 2 times Nevada's legal limit. So that lets you know that he was very intoxicated when he took and made the decision to get behind this vehicle, because it was a decision. And unfortunately, it was a bad decision. A decision that has costed him everything, because the Raiders have completely dropped him, okay? I don't know how much they had to pay out as far as for the contract that he's already played, but they no longer have him on the team. But it was a decision that costed him everything. Went from being a multimillionaire to now you're in prison for the untimely death of somebody that was just an innocent bystander trying to get home after walking their dog. And it's sad, y'all. And you know, I can't fathom. At first, my mind was trying to wrap around and trying to understand and really just try to grasp as to why, you know, what will make a person get behind the wheel knowing that they were that intoxicated. Now, I get it. I don't pass judgment. We all have been young and done dumb things. I do agree. And we all have been shown mercy as well. But to be traveling at 156 miles per hour in a vehicle of that stature, you just got to understand, y'all, that is unheard of. Even the judge, who, you know, when he showed up for his hearing this morning, mentioned that they had never encountered anything such as, when it came to a vehicle going that fast, that was involved, you know, basically, you know, in a homicide. And because that's basically what it is. You took somebody's life with a vehicle. Not only that, y'all, but you know, his bond was set to $1 million. He showed up for hearing at court this morning. His bond was set for $1 million. I think his bail, excuse me. I think he bonded out for like at $150,000. He was able to bond out, and I think he's actually on like house arrest, and there's like a lot of restrictions. Y'all, it's just crazy. But the more that I'm trying to get at is that here is someone that made it to the NFL, drafted by the NFL, $16 million 4-year deal contract, and a sign-on bonus that was said to be in the millions, possibly. I don't know. But the fact that you had all of this stuff for a 22-year-old, and maybe that's where things went wrong. Because, you know, I always say that sometimes success can come to you too fast. And when success comes to you too fast and you take it for granted, things like this happens. Now, am I going to sit up here and judge the young man that took somebody's life? No, because who am I to judge? And from my understanding, the owner of the Raiders team, they are, you know, standing beside him as far as being supportive, which I think, you know, is the right thing to do. But in the family eyes, I can see why they may feel some kind of way. But, you know, I definitely feel like that this man, you know, he did not have any intentions of harming anybody. But with that being said, I also discovered that there was a video posted back in around September of 2020 that his girlfriend, Rudy Washington, posted on her YouTube, and I think it has now been since taken down. And basically the video showed him in what looked to be the same vehicle, the Corvette that, you know, he was in on last night when he, you know, took a person's life. And it showed him even speeding then. And you can hear the girl saying, slow down, slow down, slow down. And he obviously was not slowing down. He wanted to show out with the vehicle. He was all excited. You know, here's a vehicle, got probably 400 horsepower. Who knows? Twin turbo engines, who knows? And it's just like, he probably was just like so caught up in the celebrity, riches, fame, glory, just completely lost his mind. But clearly he always had a habit of wanting to speed and show off, because in the video, which you can go online and find the video, YouTube took it down. So if they took it down, I'm going to assume that I'm not going to post it, because I want them taking my stuff down, if you feel me. But nonetheless, they took the video down from my understanding. But the video showed him speeding around, just completely being careless. And his girlfriend was like, slow down. She wanted to go back home, and she was kikiing laughing. But that just goes to show you, and I'm quite sure that a jury will see that. The jury that will be in the courtroom, I'm quite sure that they're going to put that as evidence to show that, you know, this is probably maybe premeditated. I don't know. When I saw his courtroom appearance, though, before the judge, he just looked completely like a lost soul. Even his mugshot photo, he looked at completely different than when he was at Topgolf before he chose to get in that vehicle and drive under the influence. And y'all, it's just sad. I always say this, yeah, and I had to take this with myself. I'm not perfect. Yes, I've made some bad choices. Yes, I've done some things that I'm not proud of. But I also had to realize and take into consideration of who else's lives would I be affecting by my choices. And so when I thought about that, there's a lot of things that I stopped doing because I didn't want to put other people's lives in jeopardy. So it comes a time when a child has to grow into a man. And when a man becomes a man, he puts away childish things. That's all I can say to it. It's sad to hear that now you got two families suffering, but you know, it's just, you know, when you got a 22-year-old going to jail probably for life. I heard that he was probably going to be sentenced to 40 years. He may get out in 20. I don't know how the case is going to go. I will keep you updated. And then you got a girl who was in the process of almost getting her citizenship, probably had dreams, ambitions, and everything, and now they were just snuffed away, you know, in this untimely manner of, you know, her passing. It's just sad all the way around. Nobody wins. Nobody wins at all. And unfortunately, we have to pay the consequences for our actions. And for every action, there's a reaction. I've learned that. So just keep the family lifted up in prayer. And you know, just think twice about things that you do before you do them, because you never know who lives they could affect down the road. This is Mr. 6'8". Until next time, y'all. Good night.